Your tap has dripped for 3 months and you have ignored it. Your shower pressure dropped 6 months ago and you just turned the temperature up instead. And there is a smell coming from the plug hole in the bathroom you never use, and you have been pretending it is not there. None of these things are mysteries. They all have a simple explanation. And once you understand how your plumbing actually works, you will know exactly what is causing each one and exactly what to do about it. This is how the plumbing in your house works. Start to finish. Plain English. No jargon. Every drop of water that comes out of your taps starts its journey at a water treatment works. It gets cleaned, treated, made safe to drink, and then pumped into large underground pipes called water mains. The big pipes that run under your street. Think of the water main like a motorway. Your house gets its own slip road branching off from it. That slip road is called the service pipe, and it runs underground from the main, straight into your property. Most people walk past the point where that pipe enters their house every single day and have no idea it is there. It usually comes up through the floor or through the wall near the kitchen. And right at that point, or just before it at the boundary of your property, is one of the most important things in your entire home: the stopcock. The stopcock is simply a valve. Turn it one way, water flows in. Turn it the other way, every single drop of water to the entire property stops immediately. If a pipe ever bursts, a tap will not stop running, your boiler starts leaking. The stopcock is what you turn off first. Before you call a plumber, before you do anything else, you find that valve and you turn it off. Here is the problem: most people have never located theirs. Go and check after this video. In most British homes, it is under the kitchen sink, usually against the wall closest to the street. Some are in an understairs cupboard, in a utility room, or outside in a small covered pit near the boundary, sometimes called a stop tap chamber. You might need a key to open the outside one. A plumber's stopcock key costs about £3, worth every penny. Find it now, because at 2 a.m. with water coming through the ceiling, you will not want to be searching. Now, that weak shower you have been ignoring, it might be about to make sense. The water coming into your house arrives under pressure, usually between 1 and 3 bar in a typical British home. That pressure is what pushes water through your pipes and out of your taps. Too low and your shower feels like someone blowing through a straw. Too high and it puts serious stress on your pipes, your joints and your appliances, shortening their life and eventually causing leaks. Some homes have a pressure-reducing valve fitted on the incoming supply, sometimes called a PRV, to keep things at a safe level. If your pressure has dropped suddenly across the whole house, not just one tap, that is not something to ignore. It can mean a hidden leak somewhere in your pipework. Once past the stopcock, your cold water splits in 2 directions. One set of pipes runs directly to your cold water fixtures: kitchen tap, outside tap, toilet cisterns, bathroom cold taps. The other runs to your boiler or hot water cylinder where it gets heated and then comes back out through a completely separate set of hot water pipes to your bath, shower, sinks, and wherever else you need hot water. Think of it like a road network. The service pipe coming in is the motorway. The stopcock is the toll gate. After that, 2 major A roads split off. Cold going straight to fixtures, hot going via the boiler or cylinder first. From those A roads, smaller roads branch off to each room, and then short side streets run the last few metres to each individual tap, toilet or shower. In modern British homes, supply pipes are usually plastic push-fit, flexible tubing in blue for cold and red for hot, or copper. Older homes have copper throughout. Very old properties sometimes still have lead supply pipes which absolutely should be replaced if you find them. Now, the hot water situation in Britain is worth explaining because it is different to what you see in American plumbing content online, and there is a lot of it out there. Most modern British homes have a Combi boiler. Combi is short for combination. It does 2 jobs in one unit. It heats your central heating water and it heats your domestic hot water on demand. Cold water comes in. The boiler fires up the moment you open a hot tap and hot water comes straight out. No storage tank needed. The main limitation is if 2 people want hot water at the same time, shower running while someone fills the kitchen sink. The boiler is doing 2 things at once and pressure or temperature can drop. Older homes and larger properties often use a separate hot water cylinder instead. A large insulated tank, usually in an airing cupboard, that stores hot water ready to use. Heated either by the boiler on a timer or by an immersion heater inside the tank, which is basically a large electric element like a kettle element, but bigger. The advantage is a large, ready supply of hot water. The disadvantage? If you have ever been last to shower and had a cold one, you know this system. If you rent rather than own, you probably do not choose your boiler. But knowing which system you have tells you a lot about why things behave the way they do, why your hot water runs out, why your pressure fluctuates, why your bills spike. It is worth knowing regardless. Most people use these things dozens of times a day and have genuinely no idea what is happening. Let us go through the main ones, and let us also come back to that dripping tap. Under every sink, hot and cold pipes come through the wall or up through the cabinet. Each one has its own isolation valve. A small valve with a flat head screw slot in it. Quarter turn with a flat head screwdriver, and you isolate just that tap without turning off water to the whole house. This is the thing most people do not know exists, and it makes small repairs dramatically easier. Now, the dripping tap. A dripping tap is almost always a worn washer or cartridge. A small rubber or ceramic component inside the tap body that controls the flow of water. When it wears out, it no longer seals completely and water drips through. It sounds minor, but a tap dripping once per second wastes around 15,000 litres of water a year. That is not a rounding error on your water bill, that is a significant amount. The fix is a cheap part and about 20 minutes of work for someone who knows what they are doing. That will be a separate video, but stop ignoring it. Now the toilet. Most people have never thought about how a toilet actually works. Toilets only use cold water. There is no hot water connection on a toilet at all. Cold water fills the cistern through a fill valve. At the bottom of the cistern sits a flusher valve. When you press the handle, that valve lifts and a large sudden rush of water drops from the cistern into the bowl. That rush creates a siphon effect, like tipping a full bucket into a narrow funnel all at once, that pulls everything in the bowl out through the drain. The cistern then refills automatically, taking about a minute. Simple, reliable, almost entirely mechanical. If your toilet keeps running after flushing, that constant trickle sound from the cistern, it is almost always a worn flusher valve or a faulty fill valve that is not shutting off properly. Again, a cheap fix, not something to leave because a constantly running toilet wastes a huge amount of water. Showers work by mixing hot and cold through a valve inside the wall before the water comes out of the head. A thermostatic shower valve, which most modern showers have, automatically compensates if someone flushes a toilet or turns on a tap elsewhere and tries to steal the hot water, keeping your temperature stable. Older mixer showers without thermostatic valves are the ones that scold you when someone flushes downstairs. If yours does that, upgrading the valve is a straightforward job for a plumber and makes a real difference to daily life. Here is the half of your plumbing nobody thinks about until something goes wrong, and this is where every mysterious smell and gurgle comes from. Once water goes down any plug hole or is flushed away, it enters the drainage system. The supply side is pressurized. Water is pushed through those pipes by mains pressure. The drainage side is completely different. Drain pipes work entirely on gravity. No pump, no pressure. Pipes slope downward and gravity does the work. Because drain pipes rely on gravity, the slope has to be exactly right. In Britain, the standard is roughly a 6mm drop for every 300mm of pipe. Too flattened waste sits in the pipe, builds up, and eventually blocks. That is where most block drains come from. Not just what goes down them, but how the pipe is laid. Too steep and the water races ahead and leaves solid waste sitting behind, causing a blockage further down. It has to be just right. Now the P-trap. This is the bit most people have never thought about, and once you understand it, you will be genuinely glad it exists. The P-trap is that curved section of pipe under every sink. The U-shaped one. Most people assume it is just an awkward bit of design or the place where things get stuck when you drop them, but its real job is far more important. The curve at the bottom holds a small amount of standing water at all times, just a cup or so. That standing water creates a physical seal inside the pipe, and that seal is the only thing standing between your kitchen and the sewer gases building up in the drain system underneath your house. Think of it like a moat around a castle. The water in the curve is the moat. The sewer gas is whatever you do not want getting past. As long as the moat is full, nothing gets through. Sewer gas is not just unpleasant, it contains hydrogen sulfide and methane. It is flammable and at high concentrations, it is a genuine health hazard. The P-trap stops it getting into your home every single day, silently, without you thinking about it once. Every drain in your house has one: sinks, bath, shower, floor drains. Your toilet has its own built-in trap as part of the ceramic shape of the bowl itself. Now, that smell from the plug hole in the bathroom you never use. If a drain goes unused for a few weeks, the water in the P-trap slowly evaporates. When it dries out, the seal is gone. Sewer gas drifts straight up through the plug hole and into the room. The fix is running the tap for 10 seconds. The trap refills, seal restored, smell gone. That is the whole mystery. 10 seconds of running water. Right, the gurgling. And you are going to find this satisfying once it clicks. Your drain pipes need air to work properly. Without air, a problem called siphoning happens. Here is the analogy. Hold a drinking straw full of water with your thumb over the top. The water stays in. Your thumb creates a seal. No air gets in. The water cannot fall. The moment you lift your thumb, air rushes in and the water drops out freely. Your drain pipes work on exactly the same principle. When a large rush of water flows down a drain pipe, like a full toilet flush, it can create a partial vacuum in the pipe immediately behind it. That vacuum is strong enough to suck the water right out of nearby P-traps, and when the water is gone from the trap, the seal breaks and sewer gas gets in. Vent pipes solve this. Every drainage system has vent pipes, dry pipes, running from the drain system up through the roof and opening to the atmosphere outside. When water rushes down and creates that vacuum, air comes in through the vent, the vacuum never fully forms, the trap stays sealed, and water flows cleanly away. Vent pipes also carry any sewer gas that gets into the drain pipes up and out through the roof, so it never reaches your rooms. Those pipes you see sticking up through the rooftops of houses. They are not chimney flues, they are plumbing vents. Now you know. So, the gurgling. When your sink or bath gurgles after flushing the toilet, it is almost always because the vent pipe is partially blocked. Leaves, debris, or occasionally, a bird nesting in it. With the vent blocked, a flush creates a stronger vacuum than usual, and that vacuum pulls on the water in nearby P-traps. The trap resists, but the water gets disturbed, air bubbles through, and you hear that gurgle. The trap held, but it is telling you something is wrong with the ventilation. Persistent gurgling across multiple fixtures, slow draining that keeps coming back, or a smell that returns even after you have run the taps. Get the vent pipe checked. It is a straightforward job for a plumber, and it is often the root cause of problems people have been chasing for months. All the waste from every fixture in your house eventually makes its way to one large pipe. In Britain, this is called the soil stack, a large vertical pipe, usually 110 millimeters in diameter, that runs up through the house and typically extends above the roofline to act as one of the main vents for the drainage system. Americans call it the main drain stack. Same thing, everything drains into the soil stack. Toilet waste, bath, sinks, showers, all of it. From the soil stack, the waste exits the building underground through the main drain, running below ground level away from the property. From the main drain, your waste goes one of two places. If you are connected to the public sewer, which the vast majority of British homes are, it flows underground into the sewer under the street, joins increasingly larger pipes, and eventually reaches a sewage treatment works where it gets processed and cleaned. If you are in a rural area, not on the main sewer, you will have a private system, usually a septic tank buried in the garden. Waste flows into the tank, solids settle at the bottom, and liquid flows slowly out into a drainage field. Perforated pipes buried in the ground that let liquid filter gradually into the soil. Septic tanks need pumping out roughly every 3 to 5 years. If you have one and have never had it done, get it checked. At various points along your drain run, there are access points called rodding eyes, capped fittings that a plumber can open to push rods or a camera through to clear a blockage or find a problem without digging anything up. There should be at least one accessible outside your house, usually near where the drain exits the building. Know where yours is. So that is your house plumbing from the water main to the sewer. Water comes in through the service pipe, past the stopcock, which you now know where to find, and splits. Cold pipes run directly to your fixtures. A separate supply goes to your Combi boiler or hot water cylinder and comes back as hot water running to wherever you need it. Used water goes down the plug holes, through the P-traps silently sealing sewer gas out of your home every single day, into branch drains collecting from multiple fixtures, down the soil stack, and out underground to the sewer or septic system. Vent pipes keep air in the system so drains flow properly and traps stay sealed. Two completely separate systems. Clean water in under pressure. Wastewater out by gravity. Running through the same building every single day without you thinking about it once. Now you know what is happening behind your walls. If your sink gurgles, check the vent. If you smell something from a plug hole you never use, run the tap for 10 seconds. If your shower pressure dropped suddenly across the whole house, find a leak. If a tap drips, fix it, because 15,000 litres a year is not nothing. And if anything goes seriously wrong, find the stopcock first and turn it off before you do anything else. The dripping tap, the weak shower, the smell from the plug hole. None of them are mysteries anymore. Next video, we are going behind the walls to look at how your central heating actually works. Why some radiators are cold at the top, why your boiler keeps losing pressure, and why bleeding a radiator works. Subscribe so you do not miss it. That is exactly what WhiteBuilds is for.